Hello, welcome aboard to my subscribers and followers. Welcome back. And to my new viewers, welcome aboard. I'd like to give a shout out actually. I don't follow the analytics, but I do see a couple of the demographics on my homepage. So I want to give a big shout out to everyone in the United States. Thank you very much for your support. I mean it. I want to give a shout out to my folks in India, and I want to give a shout out to my folks in Japan. I've been to Tokyo and I've been to Narita, and I love it. And let's see, I haven't been to India, but I have had long plans to go there in certain cities where you have that. There's a city that is renowned for a poetry, artistic gathering yearly, and it's in a city and it's famous for that gathering event. Anyway, whatever. So I touched on, well, I made the topic tonight, body stuff. Now I'm going to have to refresh your pig Latin because I cannot trigger people, or I don't know if YouTube allows it, say body dystopia, morph, but kind of like dystopia. So body dystopia. I'm also going to have to refresh your pig Latin because we've talked about pig Latin, second syllable goes first goes last, and you put a, like A-Y. So audibe, body, would be audibe, body. And then the word from that separately was shame. So audibe would be body, and shame would be aim-shay. Audibe, aim-shay. Okay, let's skip that. You got it. When I say it, you know what I mean. Okay, I put sort of kind of a lead in, I guess, to this show. I put a clip, one of my shorts that I do probably like 2 or maybe 3 times a day, that had a picture of me shooting with Molly Ringwald and Pauley Shore. And I put that clip there with me, Pauley Shore, and Molly Ringwald walking down the aisle in front of us, because that was a crescendo of my Adibe Aimshay. That Adibe Aimshay started, as many do, triggered by an event. For example, let's say, do you know the band Dead or Alive with Pete Burns? Well, before he became Grotesque, poor love, way back when he was like a cutting edge, amazing star, some coworker once pointed out after a show, something, gosh, I wish we could kind of get rid of that bump on your nose. Pete Burns did not know he had a bump on his nose. Then he started tweaking. He's in the entertainment industry. He's in the film industry. He's in, videos. He's in the music industry. I have intimate, unpleasant relationships with a person in the film industry who was quite horrific to me. Anyway, beside the point. Anyway, so Pete Burns tweaked out on that nose bump that virtually did not exist. He was the prettiest thing alive. And he then went through all of these surgeries, and we know what happened to Pete Burns. He literally died, YouTube was unlived, because of a surgery, one of 50,000 surgeries, the nose, lips, eyes, then this, complications, and he had a heart attack in the middle of the umpteenth surgery. Point being, my father, when I was working out one day, when I was trying to be punk and not 13 anymore, and lifting this, he came by to my mother's house, and he sees me in the tank top, and he comes up to me. First thing he does is goes, pinch, pinch, pinch. Oh, something like, I didn't realize you were so thin up there, or whatever innocuous thing he said, pinch, pinch. From that moment on, I wouldn't wear t-shirts. From that moment on, I was terrified of being seen as skinny. From that moment on, I thought that my biceps and arms were emaciated. From that moment on, etc., 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 do your math. Okay? This was lifelong now. In high school, would wear two pairs of pants, two pairs of jeans, so I looked not so skinny. I would do anything to not look so skinny. I mean, I wore leather jackets and things like that. That was my style. But whatever I could do to not look skinny, lots of top heavy stuff. As many pants as I could fit under the pants. Well, one pair. All that kind of stuff, right? That built and built and got more exaggerated, more exaggerated. Why? I was in the film industry. In the 1980s, forget that you're closeted, because that's like quadruple million whammy. The look, by and large, was buff guys. Yes, there were villains. Hey, after E.T., by the way, the only parts I could get were, as I've mentioned, drug dealers, bad influencers, punk boyfriends, and innocuous little whatevers. In Real Genius, I was like a science fair guy. But then again, in Spinal Tap, I was punk. So it was all, where did this pretty boy go from E.T.? Anyway, so in For Keeps, which I put the clip in earlier today, deliberately with me and Pauly Shore, I'm wearing a striped shirt. I mean, nothing of it, right? Okay, but on that set in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and on the set in Los Angeles, it was, I don't know, 6 weeks shoot or whatever. And Sean was so terrified of being outed as too thin or not buff enough. Sean, as usual, in any other scenario at that time, brought in his luggage a shirt. Now, this shirt I discovered over the years. It was just some kind of fashionable, accidentally fashionable pullover material, but it had puffy arms. So I guess that was the fashion statement of the shirt was, regular pullover, regular, but the arms were not like, snowsuit puffy, but they were padded, significantly padded for fashion effect. Well, that I wore till it literally shredded into pieces. Why? Because it made my arms look bigger. They were squishy, they were thicker. Then there was all the other, rituals. Not many, but especially on set. Okay, so I had that going all through high school. I had that tweak going all through for wherever. Then I got For Keeps, which had been my first, I again played like Ugg Dre, Ehlers Day, and all variety of bad influences. So here I am looking a little clean cut because I'm with Molly Ringwald and Pauly Shore and whatever in this wedding scene or the other scenes. And I wore the padded shirt under my dress shirt, under a t-shirt, under another shirt, under a pullover. So at that point now, I was wearing usually two t-shirts, a thermal over those, then the padded shirt that I mentioned, all together under that striped shirt. So go back to that clip and see me standing next to Pauly Shore looking at Molly Ringwald, and you'll see I look kind of built, good size, whatever. Okay? 2 t-shirts, 1 thermal, 1 puffy, accidentally padded, fashionable, puffy, shouldery, everything. Then the dress shirt, okay? Long story short, I mentioned also, I think, previously, in the teaser that I got nailed. The actress Leslie Bega from Head of the Class, who played my girlfriend Desdemona, she was sitting on my lap in one scene, and she did a squeeze, and she gave me a look that I'll never forget. It was almost like an understanding of what you're doing and why, and she looked away. And I got it, that she got it, and she got it, that I got it, that she got it. It was all about my body aim shay, my smorphia day thay. Okay? You know what those means? Those words mean. I hope they don't trigger you. And that was my topic today. So I look forward to seeing you next time. Watch out for those. Be careful of choking on all of my little shorts, okay? I will see you tomorrow. I do love you. You guys pull me through. It's now 10 minutes and I've broken my rule, but I love you and I will see you soon. 10 minutes. I'm sorry. Bye.